Most of us spend our entire lives just trying to be liked. It's this unspoken, totally exhausting engine that drives almost every single human interaction we have. We step into a room, and immediately, we start calculating exactly how to be palatable, how to blend in, how to avoid ruffling any feathers. But in this explainer, we're unpacking a really uncomfortable psychological truth. Being liked and being respected are rarely the exact same thing.
Okay, let's dive right into this illusion of approval, because from a very young age, we're basically conditioned to equate social safety with social agreement. We learn to avoid conflict at literally all costs. We force a smile when we're actually incredibly frustrated. We nod along to opinions we fundamentally oppose just to keep the peace. And it's a slow, quiet, psychological descent into self-erasure. We tell ourselves we're just being polite, but really, we're slowly training ourselves to prioritize the comfort of everyone else over our own reality. This illusion might keep us safe from immediate rejection, but it absolutely traps us in a cage of our own making. Avoiding conflict, saying yes to everything, forced laughter, hiding your actual reality. I want you to be brutally honest with yourself for a second. How many of those masks have you already worn today? The thing is, when you do this, it works. People will definitely call you nice, but deep down, there's this hollow core. You're offering up a completely manufactured version of yourself, and in doing so, you're eliminating the very friction that's actually required to earn real respect. Think about it. Being liked is comfortable. It's totally frictionless. It's a very passive state. People naturally like those who make them feel good, those who just validate their worldview without ever challenging it. But respect? Respect has real gravity. It requires weight. People might not always agree with you. They might not even want to invite you into every single room. But they deeply respect those who stand as a solid object in the world, rather than just acting like a mirror that reflects everybody else's preferences back at them.
What we're really looking at here is validation addiction. Modern society has quietly, relentlessly trained us to chase approval over respect. Think about the architecture of our digital lives. It literally rewards constant agreement and the immediate, cheap gratification of attention. This fear of being disliked has become vastly stronger than our fundamental human desire to be real. Terrified of being cast out into the social wilderness, people unconsciously turn themselves into these highly manufactured avatars designed strictly for mass consumption. Here's the thing, though. Desperation has a presence. You don't even have to say a word. The entire room can just feel it. It's that subtle, nervous tension in your voice when you agree with someone a little too quickly. It's the way your eyes dart around the room to make absolutely sure your joke landed safely. When your primary goal in life is validation, you project a really profound inner emptiness. You are basically signaling to the world that you desperately need them to tell you who you are. It really is the scent of desperation. It's the person who physically cannot say no, even when they're completely exhausted. The person who apologizes just for taking up space. The social chameleon who totally alters their entire personality depending on who happens to walk into the room. Now, society loves to call this being accommodating, but human psychology is much darker than that. Over time, people don't actually love you more for constantly bending over backwards. They just stop taking you seriously. So if desperation destroys your value, what actually builds it? Well, it's not arrogance. It's definitely not aggression. Dominating a conversation or treating people poorly, those are really just louder, more obnoxious masks for insecurity. True strength, the kind of strength that completely commands a room without ever having to raise its voice, is a quiet, unshakable core. It is the absolute, unwavering knowledge that your worth does not fluctuate based on who happens to be standing next to you. Because true respect from others, it's completely impossible without self-respect. It's the ability to stay totally calm under pressure, rather than panicking and trying to appease everyone around you. It's having the courage to speak honestly, even when your voice is shaking. It's the fortitude to set hard boundaries. And maybe the most powerful psychological tool you possess is simply the willingness to walk away. To earn genuine respect, you have to be entirely willing to lose the crowd. Notice the dynamic here. Chasing approval is incredibly loud. It requires this constant, frantic output of energy, always performing, always laughing, always agreeing. But earning respect? That's quiet. Think about the most genuinely respected people you've ever encountered. They don't desperately try to impress you. They are incredibly comfortable with silence. They're comfortable with disagreement. And they are completely comfortable being misunderstood by people who really don't matter to their underlying purpose. It's really just a fundamental law of human behavior. We instinctively trust the people who don't need our validation. When you're emotionally calm, when you don't need the whole room to clap for you every time you speak, you naturally create this undeniable magnetic presence.
Conversely, we are naturally super suspicious of people who try way too hard to please us. We can't help but wonder what they're hiding. Authenticity doesn't need to perform, it just exists.
Building this kind of presence requires a very quiet architecture. It demands consistency, being exactly who you say you are in every single room, day in and out. It demands integrity, actually speaking your truth, even when the entire room goes dead silent. And above all else, it takes emotional control, not letting the anxiety of the group dictate your own internal state. It's the immense power to look someone dead in the eye, say no, and feel absolutely zero guilt about it. And this brings us to the ultimate psychological paradox of this whole explainer. The exact moment you finally stop needing everyone around you to like you is the very moment you become impossible to manipulate. That faint scent of desperation completely fades away. When you stop abandoning your core values just for the cheap, temporary high of someone's approval, people quickly realize they can't control you with their opinions anymore. And strangely, inevitably, that is the exact moment they actually begin to respect you. The choice becomes starkly clear, doesn't it? Pleasing others offers temporary comfort, a fleeting smile in a crowd of people that doesn't actually know the real you. But staying true to yourself, that offers a lasting value. It builds a life on solid rock rather than shifting sand. In our modern, relentlessly validation-addicted world, pure, unyielding authenticity is literally the ultimate, rarest currency we have left. So, I want to leave you with this one thought. When you finally strip away all the forced laughs, the automatic reflex agreements, and all those carefully crafted masks you've designed just to keep the peace, how much of you exists purely to be accepted?